How's everything going with your new outline, Lindsay? Lindsay's working on a new project.
I was pitching it to my husband yesterday, and it's very bare bones. I said it's not quite a skeleton, it's like a shoulder blade and a hip bone, but
Okay, that's good.
I was inspired. I watched that movie, Remarkably Bright Creatures.
Oh, okay. I keep
It's
hearing good things.
nothing like that story. There's no octopus. There's some grief, but ultimately it'll be, I think, a heartwarming story. And there is a dog.
Oh,
Oh,
good.
don't kill the dog.
I'm
Right.
not killing the dog. He did suggest I kill the dog, and I'm like, I'm not killing the dog. There
Liz,
will be no dogs dying, but there will be a dog, an adopted dog, to help my main character kind of get over a lot of things.
I already love your main character.
Well, thank you.
I'm Holly Rizzuto Palker, the producer of the Momcoms. I'm Italian Catholic, and I'm married to a Jewish guy, so move over Sebastian Maniscalco because I'm raising three pizza bagels of my own.
Hi, I'm Liz Alterman. When I'm not responding to what's for dinner, I enjoy reading, baking, and failed attempts at gardening.
Hey, Lindsay, welcome to the Momcoms Stand Up and Stories. We're so excited to have you here today.
Thank you for having me. I'm excited too.
Lindsey Goldstein is the author of Gap Year, which debuted in February of 2026. She wears many hats, including, but not limited to, mother, author, physical therapist, and chauffeur, at least until her oldest gets a driver's license. She's also published essays in the New York Times Modern Love, the Sunlight Press, and Chicago Story Press. Welcome to the show, Lindsay.
Thank you. Thank you.
Full disclosure to our audience, this is the second time we are taping the episode because we had a little technical difficulty. So I feel like we're going to just be so on because of that. What do you guys think?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
We might win an Emmy or whatever it is they give for new podcasts.
Is it a potty?
Is it? For the potty? Sure, that works. Our,
With a D, not a T.
okay.
And thank you for being such a good sport, Lindsay. I want everyone in the listening audience to know how gracious you are to come back and read with us again. And thank you.
It shows that I'm the youngest in my family. Go with the
Go
flow.
with the flow.
Go with the flow.
This is, I totally feel birth order. My kids, at least, it's textbook, like oldest child syndrome, middle child syndrome, and youngest.
I only have two, but there's very much oldest and youngest. Very much so.
So you are going to read an excerpt from your book called Gap Year. And I'm going to just tell our audience what the story is about, so they just have a little context. Jade's life is turned upside down within 48 hours. Her only child leaves for a year abroad. Her husband abandons her for another woman, and her boss issues her an ultimatum. Jane makes a bold, impulsive choice. She is leaving it all behind for an adult version of her daughter's gap year. It sounds fun, Lindsay.
It is really fun. You have to read it, Holly. You'll love it.
I will. And I know you have read it, Liz. And I know there are some juicy parts in it too.
There's a few juicies.
And I just love the settings. It makes me want to travel. It really did.
Well, that was part of the point. I think Ecuador could use the tourism. So book your flight.
I'm ready to go right now.
Ecuador, would you like to sponsor the Momcoms?
Right? The whole country.
Yeah.
I've got three kids at home. I'd pay for myself at this point. I'm happy to fund it just to go alone, maybe.
I personally am inspired by the excerpt that you'll hear to get a tummy tuck, but we'll talk about that later.
Okay. We ready?
Hey, Lindsay.
All right. Unusual grunting sounds awakened me before my alarm. I squinted in the dim light. That was his trademark groan, no mistaking it. And it could only mean one thing. It was odd that he hadn't waited until, I don't know, I wasn't next to him. The last time Clark and I had, wait, that wasn't right. I jogged my memory. A vague recollection of his company holiday party surfaced. Boy, that had been a while back. My heart raced as I listened to the strangled sound, my irritation mounting with each dull moan. He had to be sending me a message, a loud and repetitive one. I peered around the side of the bed. There, Clark contorted his body on the floor in a steady motion. Sweat dripped from his forehead, but he was fully clothed. He reached for his toes in a complicated set of sit-ups. I watched until he noticed me, mulling whether the heat radiating from me was an attraction to him or embarrassment for the whole misconception of the situation. Either way, I waited for him to say something, silently thanking the universe that Clark wasn't telepathic. "What are you doing?" I asked when he finally craned his head toward me. He pursed his lips and exhaled short bursts of air from his mouth as he continued with the crunches. "Exercising?" He rolled over onto his belly and started a rapid set of push-ups. I watched the way his body lowered and rose. His body had become leaner and more toned lately. "Can't hurt," I said. Maybe it was time to break the seal. I could have slid under him right there. Then I hesitated. My hand grazed my soft belly. Eesh, self-consciousness was a real libido killer. He breathed like he was hungry for air. Belly be damned, something stirred deep inside me. Yes, desire. My old excommunicated friend. But Clark did not pause or notice my sudden yearning. Liza's departure would give us a chance to rediscover our sex life. I would have been lying if I had said it hadn't taken a backseat to work and Liza in recent years. But that was normal. There had been times one or the other of us had reached out to initiate intimacy, only to be rebuffed. Okay, fine, I did a lot of the rebuffing, but not because I didn't find Clark desirable. My pillow often seemed so much more enticing after working, making dinner, cleaning the dishes, and packing Liza's lunch for the next day. Clark rolled to his bottom and glanced at me. "Something on your mind?" His face was open and attentive. I inched closer and sat up on the bed near him. "I guess I'm just thinking about what life will be like once it's just the two of us again." He fidgeted with his socks, avoiding my eyes. When he spoke, he directed his words somewhere above my head. "I've been doing a little thinking about that as well, Jane."
Awesome job reading that. That was great.
It was, yes.
I think everyone's going to connect with that feeling of approaching the empty nest and what is going to happen with my life when the kids go, because they fill up so much of your life. And you look at your partner and you're like, I met this person so long ago. Do we still have things in common? I think it's a very relatable feeling.
I told my husband my worst fear when the kids are gone is that couple at a restaurant and they're just eating their meal and not talking, and you just hear the clinking of the silverware.
Mhm.
I don't want to be that couple one day.
Or even worse now when they're on their phones. And
Oh,
you're
for
like,
that.
you could have just gotten takeout. Like, I just want to step in and be like, all right, put that down.
There's got to be something to talk about.
I know.
Right? Oh,
No, it's a fear. I hope that my time will be filled with other things that have interested me my whole life, and I won't be so upset by it.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. I watch my parents, and they are actually a good role model because they both read a lot, they watch a lot of things, and they eat dinner every night together at the heads of the table facing each other, and they talk. I mean, it's weird to me, but they talk about things and they have a lot to talk about. I'm like, okay, they did it, and it's been almost 65 years.
I want to talk about the floppy belly.
Okay, let's talk about it. Let's let it hang out.
It's such a good conversation about it the last time, so I don't know if we can replicate it, but it did make me think of my floppy belly, the soft flesh, and how embarrassing it is in so many situations. Do you still sport your floppy belly, Lindsay?
So, no, I don't. I did last time go into how I had an accidental tummy tuck in my section.
I don't know if I buy accidental tummy tuck.
I did not ask for it. I was lying there paralyzed. Like I was at somebody's mercy.
I'd like an accidental facelift. Can I get that?
An accident. It was for my headaches.
But yes, so she did give me sort of a tummy tuck. She said she didn't want me to have that shelf that women get after a C-section. So she did some fancy folds. I don't have a floppy belly. I work really hard at it though.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. I know I've seen Lindsey, of course, because I follow her on Instagram and she's always out there running. So I feel like you're a good role model for us writers who spend a lot of the time sitting a lot. And then I only get up to pick up snacks and coffee. So that's not helping my belly.
I drink a lot of coffee. I do like coffee. When I was in college, that was my first foray into drinking coffee. And it was my freshman year. And I called my dad. My dad's a doctor. And I said, Dad, I have this weird pain in my abdomen. And he immediately said, How many cups of coffee are you drinking? And I said, Only 8 to 9.
Oh, how
He
funny.
said, Let's cut that back to 2 and see if the pain goes away. I think you're developing an ulcer.
Oh, no.
And was that the case?
Yeah. No, I was fine when I cut it back, but it was hard. It is an addiction.
I know. Holly makes a nice cup. Holly, I don't know if you want to see if we can get an espresso to sponsor us, but you could.
So right here.
So Holly, tell us about your floppy belly.
Here's the thing. I'm one of the unlucky mothers that has both a floppy belly with the C-section shelf and an ugly vagina.
I actually thought about this a little bit last time, and there is a whole spa / clinic here in Laguna Beach where you can go and get vaginal rejuvenation. They put you up apparently in a really nice hotel. They make your bits look beautiful again, and then they pamper you while you recover with ocean views. And so save your shekels.
I'm going to say, Holly, get us a comedy show out in Laguna Beach. And then while we're there, we'll just.
Wow. Lindsey, do you know any places in Laguna Beach that rom-coms can perform at?
I bet you I could. I could probably find somewhere. I'm sure I could, at least in Irvine, which is close enough. Well, you better book a trip.
If we do a show.
And get vaginal rejuvenation.
And you can get a vaginal rejuvenation with views. Don't forget the views.
Yes, my ugly. So let me just finish saying. It's upsetting because my first kid was a C-section. And so I was like, this sucked. The recovery sucked. I have the shelf. I can't cover it. But at least I'll always have a pretty vagina. And then my second kid came and he was 2 months early and he was just there. They were like, there is no C-section. We're taking him out with forceps now. And then my third, I elected for VBAC because he was. But then he didn't really pave the way because he was so small. So then my third was like a first-time birth. So it was just sucked. And so with that one, I had to have the episiotomy. And so ugly vagina, ugly C-section scar. And it's just my battle wounds of being a mother, I guess.
Well, I think we have found the solution for you.
Mm-hmm.
Start looking into dates to book your trip. And I can't wait. I cannot wait. And I'll come visit you as you're recovering.
So fun.
This book made me want to travel and made me want to eat. I just loved the whole setting, all the descriptions. And last time we also kind of touched on Jane as she develops a relationship. And there's kind of like that spark of new love. And I loved that component too.
Yes. So yeah, we definitely did. I think that Holly, you had asked me about the steamy scene, and I said that purposely I made it somewhat awkward because you have to take into account the fact that Jane's been with this man, Clark, for 20 some odd years, and they've been married for 20. So presumably they'd been together longer. So she hadn't had other partners. So for me, it would be really weird to suddenly be with a new guy. I would probably be self-conscious, floppy belly or not. And not only that, you don't know this person's body. And plus, on top of that, there's all sorts of excitement. Sorry, husband, who's in the other room, but that there's this new person with this new body.
That's why it's fun to read, because you can pretend
you're
there.
Exactly. So she has some sexy time with a new person. It's somewhat closed door, but I think you can get the idea of what's happening. And there's a lot of foreplay-ish leading up to it. That to me is the best part anyway.
Right. They have a lot of chemistry, and that's the part that I love.
He's supposed to be an attractive middle-aged guy who knows his way around the bedroom.
But right, look at Holly. Holly's like, I'm picking this up today.
Which is great for diving back in. You don't want somebody who's amateur.
Mhm.
Anyway, the fallback sex, when you're getting back out there, it has to be with someone hot. Like it just has to, right? Otherwise, what's the point? You have a vibrator. Otherwise.
I think too, I don't know if this was your intention, Lindsay, but when I read Clark, my mind kept going to Clark Griswold, who's so goofy, you know? So the whole time I'm like, all right, Jane, whatever happens, don't go back to Clark.
I think Clark is like practically handsome. I mean, it was with Clark probably missionary all the way and no real foreplay there. And just let's get down to business.
Right.
Awesome. And what style would the other guy be? If missionary?
The other guy, tons of foreplay for sure. You know, playing her body like a violin.
Like the Sex and the City boyfriend that has the
Oh, like the blonde guy? Yes.
No, Carrie has a boyfriend that he's a musician.
Oh, yes.
He plays her.
Yes, yes.
Oh.
Exactly. Yes, she is, I guess, more like a cello. A little bit bigger than a violin. But nimble fingers, let's put it that way. And mouth. Okay. Now I'm getting uncomfortable. No.
What did Jane learn from the gap year? What did she take from this whole situation?
I think that at the end of the day, what I hope she learns, what she does, which anyone can learn, is that it's never too late to do something that you've always wanted to do. So we all have things that probably are on our back burner that we think, oh, there'll still be time at some point to do. And you put it off, you put it off, you put it off because life gets in the way. But it's never too late to go back to that thing. So for Jane, she was a budding ecologist in her 20s, and that went to the wayside because she had a child and got married and needed to be practical and got a job as a CPA, which, how boring. Sorry, CPAs out there. I'm sure there's a lot of excitement. She always had this yearning to do this thing and climb this volcano. And so I hope everybody feels like maybe it's not a volcano, but there is some metaphorical volcano out there for all of us that we want to climb. And it's never too late. You could be 90 and go climb that volcano.
That's so cool.
I know. I love that. I love that message.
So Liz, what would you be doing at the age of 90?
Oh, that's a good question. I mean, hopefully not surrounded by cats because I already have two and I'm heading in that direction. But I hope we can keep writing and supporting other women. And as long as you're willing to keep managing me, I'll get there behind the mic and say whatever I can remember. I may be reading off of like enormous cue cards with giant glasses, but how about you?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, if I could be doing the mom coms when I'm 90 and actually still getting an audience in.
Right. That will be our grandchildren and our great grandchildren and my cats.
If they all come, I mean, why not? It would be so fun.
It would be. When we met Carol Montgomery at the Irma Bombeck Writers Conference, and she has produced Funny Women of a Certain Age, multiple, I don't know if you'd call it episodes or seasons.
What's the oldest person that's on her series?
That's a great question. I want to say there's a lady who is a grandmother who is seated. She has a good mix there. They're all hysterical, and I think it's really inspiring. And they're still super sharp, super funny. So it gives me hope because I feel my memory slipping. And I know you do a ton to stay sharp, Holly.
Most of what I do doesn't work, but I will never stop trying my best to stay sharp because sometimes I feel like a shell of my former self. I'm tap dancing and I'm doing drum lessons and all these things that I wrote about for Business Insider to like say I'm trying to keep sharp, but it's an uphill battle. Kind of like the floppy tummy. It's just
right.
Part of age.
For me, I felt like Jane kind of learned to have a little grace with herself too. I love the friend that she meets along the way. You feel her growing as a person. So
And she helps her friend grow also.
Mhm.
Like
Right.
she has stuff going on in her life that she needs a little help with. Laura's the friend I don't know if I've ever had exactly, but I always wanted.
Yes, I loved her. That's what, when I finished it, I said to Lindsey, I want a sequel or a spin-off where we get to see what happens to Laura.
Well, that's not a bad idea. Okay, I'll put that in my back pocket.
If you were to leave everything else, but you could just keep your funniest one-liner, what would your funniest bit be?
So I put so much thought into this because I was left wanting last time. So I thought and thought about it. And my best line ever that I've written is simply this: try this. It's gross. It's concise. It's descriptive. And there's a story if you'd like to hear it.
I would love to hear it.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay.
It's a funny story.
So it's a funny story. So I was 9. My oldest sister is 8 years older. So she went off to college in the East Coast. So we're in California, 3,000 miles away. She gets a piece of mail, and it was around Easter time. So she walked a mile through snow to get to the post office. They hand her this bulgy envelope, and she opens it, and then there's just this letter that says, try this, it's gross. And there's one of those, you know, those little chocolate Easter egg things taped to the paper. So she had to call. She was like, what is that? So she called me, and I said, oh, so I had, you know, those lip smacker chapstick things.
I love those.
Good. So I had a cherry one. It was brand new that my mom had gotten for me. And I was down the street with Bobby and Tony. They were 2 boys that lived down the street, and they had just celebrated Easter. And they said, we'll trade you these chocolate eggs for your lip smacker. And so I traded them, and I went home, and I was all excited to eat some of these eggs. And I opened it, and they were like from 1900. Like they had that white film on them, and they were disgusting. So I showed it to my mom, and she's like, wait, you traded your brand new lip smacker? You go get that back right now. So I marched down the street with these eggs, and I said to Tony, you have to give it back. My mom's really mad at me. And he says, oh, it's too late. I ate it.
I want to know where Tony is today.
It was like waxy, but he ate the whole thing.
Well, that was a good story. Thank you,
That
Lindsey.
is.
I think
Family lore.
yeah, right? Family lore. I love family lore, especially like 80s and 90s family lore. It's the best.
Oh,
But even like, that's still so relatable because my kids, they'll take a gallon of milk out of the fridge and they'll be like, is this bad? Smell it. And I'm like, nobody wants to start off with that. You tell me, is it bad? And if it is, why would I want to smell it? Just pour it out.
I still do that sometimes to people. I'm like, ew, this is really gross. Try it.
Right.
Try it.
All right, Lindsey, it was so nice to have you on the show today.
Yes, thank you for coming back.
Thank you for listening to me again, read this long excerpt. And
It was a pleasure.
Floppy Bellies Unite. Okay, so this time in December in Laguna Beach.
is it going to be December? Well, I'll work on finding you guys a spot. But if I hold up my end of the bargain, then you're coming.
We're
Mhm.
lucky that you can open for us in the show. It'll be perfect.
That would be awesome.
I can tell more family lore. There's so much of it.
Have a nice day, Lindsey. It was so great to see you again.
Thank
Bye,
you.
Lindsey. Thank you.
Bye. Bye.
Thank you for listening to the Mom Comes Stand Up and Stories. We hope that you were able to laugh free of interruptions from your kids. Don't forget to subscribe to our newsletter on Substack. The link is listed in the show notes. Oh, and check out our website, themomcoms.com. See if we're performing in your area. Subscribe to the Mom Comes Stand Up and Stories wherever it is that you get your podcasts. Bye.